Started. Basically, the whole idea behind the online study abroad fair was that we had a lot of member institutions that CCSA just wasn't able to send a member to. And so we thought, well, we've got this very useful tool, Adobe Connect. Why not go ahead and use that tool so that we could at least provide a method of giving this information about CCSA and our programs, particularly towards this winter, but then I'll also mention summer of 2017 shortly as well. So in order to get started, I think one of the first things to discuss is the fact that CCSA's website has an enormous amount of information. And in order to visit that site, you just simply would type into your browser ccsa.cc, and that would bring you to our main page. So for those of you that aren't familiar with CCSA, CCSA is the Cooperative Center for Study Abroad, and it's a consortium of U.S. colleges and universities. At the last count, I believe it was 25. We're constantly looking for new members, and what we do is we offer study abroad programs in English-speaking regions. So England, Ireland, Scotland, South Africa, Australia, Belize. Those are the primary locations. CCSA is headquartered at Western Kentucky University, and participants receive credit either undergraduate or graduate based on what the faculty has proposed and the syllabus that they're teaching. All of the faculty have to be from a member school. Now, the students do not have to be from a member school. They can be from any school. And so if you're a student that has a friend that would like to participate, you can still invite that friend to participate. They don't have to actually be from the same school as you, if it is a member school. And at any time you ever have any questions about who can enroll and who's eligible, feel free to contact us. I'll mention that my email address is finance@ccsa.cc. David Nelson is over here on the side as well. His job is to manage the application, so his email address is data@ccsa.cc, and either one of us can help you get that process started. Jerry Barnaby, when we're looking at the CCSA staff, is our executive director. He's located on the side in the discussion board here. Robin Byerly is the programs coordinator. Again, we have myself, the financial coordinator, and David Nelson is the applications and database coordinator. And like I mentioned, from the website, all of the information in order to contact us is available there. This is a short list of some of the CCSA member institutions. You can see we have many of them, and we're constantly looking to add more. Some of these institutions are obviously larger than others, and so we try to focus our efforts on attending those larger schools, and then some of the other schools, not less important, but maybe further away and just a little bit more difficult to get to. That's why we're actually trying to give this option of an online fair where people can either view it, live while it's streaming, or maybe watch the played back version at a later date, which would be fine as well. This is just a short look at the front page of the CCSA website. As you can see, there is a course search tool available, which would look a lot better if we were actually on the website. But, again, you can visit that at any time. The current winter programs that we have are fairly unique, but all of the programs during winter have the same dates. They start December 26th and then would return January the 8th, 2017. The spread out of our courses are basically listed on this slide, where London Global Business, which is a concentration of business-specific courses, would have 4 courses. We'll look at that a little bit more when we go through the catalog. Then we have also the sports and media section with 5 courses, theater and literature section with 3 courses, our typical London winter with 3 more courses, and then a very unique program that I think is very popular is this London and Dublin 2 capitals course, where students would not only spend 1 week in London, but then also 1 week in Dublin as well, so that you get to visit 2 countries on one single program. Something that is definitely of interest to most students is the CCSA Storyteller Scholarship. All applicants to CCSA programs are eligible to apply as long as they're from a member school. So we'll take participants from any school, but we do prefer that students participating from member institutions be awarded this scholarship. That's not to say that you couldn't apply, but it's just less likely that you would actually be awarded. We have 2 scholarship deadlines. The next one that's available is October 10th, so I would recommend getting in there as soon as you can if you're looking for a scholarship. The awards are typically anywhere from $250 up to $1,000, and we've even had multiple students win for different programs. So definitely a good way to offset the cost of studying abroad, and I definitely would highly recommend that you look into that and try to submit an application. The Storyteller Scholarship is basically encouraging students to promote their stories while studying abroad. And so we invite students to build a blog, post some news stories, some photos, and anything else that's useful in terms of helping to just spread the word about what CCSA does and the programs that we provide. One of the things that are important in terms of deadlines are the payment deadlines, and so I've just listed some of the information that can also be found on the website. For the winter of 2016-2017 programs, we have an application fee deadline, which is up until this Friday, which is September 16th. After that early application deadline, the fee then rises to $250. So it's definitely good to get that fee paid before that deadline, and that's based on when you actually pay that amount, not when you apply. And after that, we go into the first payment deadline, which is basically our point when we decide, these courses have enough students enrolled to make. That first payment for winter is going to be $1,850, and it'll be due October 28th. After that, we have the final payment deadline of December 2nd, and that will include group air for those that have selected to travel with CCSA. One of the benefits that we provide to our students is the ability to travel with a group. Many times faculty will be in the same group, and there are a lot of students who haven't traveled very much, and they really like the option of being able to go with a group of students that will also eventually be on the program. Many times students from the same course, the same university will be grouped together, and so they may have already met each other on the Facebook page, or they may even know each other personally, and so that's a really good option. There are always students, though, that like to maybe go early or stay late, and so group travel is not required, but for those students, they do have to make their own travel arrangements from the airport to the lodging destination, which in this case would be the Washington Mayfair Hotel. Some of the most useful links that are found on the CCSA website are the course search page, and so I've listed that link on here. We have a section with frequently asked questions that I think answers a lot of questions that you might have, so you might search there before trying to contact us just to see if maybe you can get a quick response to what you're looking for. The payment deadlines and amounts is basically the information that I just showed you. And one that I would really like to point out particularly, because I think it's extremely helpful for students, is the cost calculator. If you visit ccsa.cc/cost, you can go into an interactive cost calculator that helps students select options, look at different selections in terms of maybe a single room versus a shared room, or independent travel versus group travel. And then you can take, after you've selected all of those options and completed that form, you can print it off and take it to go meet with your financial advisor and your local campus rep on your home campus. It's definitely a good idea to get that process started as early as possible. And so after the early application deadline, we'll start sending reminders about going ahead and doing that. And I've even started to contact some students that mentioned that a significant portion of their payment towards CCSA would be with financial aid. So you might have seen that survey in the application. Again, the team contact information is /team. And then if you wanted to find out who the local campus contact was for your school, and maybe you weren't sure, that would be located at ccsa.cc/members. I thought I'd take a chance just to show a couple of photos from London. This is very close to our location. It's Windsor Castle. Many students like to go there. You can see this one ceremony is the changing of the guard. It's a typical scene that you would see in London. One of my favorites was the Tower of London. It has an enormous history with King Henry and many of the other Tudors. You can see a group of students there from CCSA on a previous program with the tower behind them. Of course, no trip to London is complete without getting a shot of Big Ben in the background, and so this is a nice little park with the deck-style bus located next to the park. Also, another traditional English event is the high tea, and we typically like to include that in most of our London programs, which is a very popular program, and so we just put a little photo of that in here as well. For some reason, Ireland, Guinness Brewery tends to be very popular, and so you can see a group of students getting ready to tour the facility there. We've got several other places that sometimes will include an optional trip, like Stonehenge, and then you can see that you've got the Tower Bridge, which is many times referred to as London Bridge, the Thames, which is just in front of Big Ben, and Trafalgar Square. It's a very popular hangout for students. In addition to places, I always would like to point out to people that the people that you go with and the people that you meet while you're there are just as important as the places you see. And so many of our students will build relationships with not only their faculty but other students that will last a lifetime. And we've even had cases where students returning from our programs would end up sharing rooms or apartments with each other, and definitely staying in touch with each other through our Facebook groups and many other ways. And so not only are the places that you'll visit important, but the people that you go there with, are part of that experience. And so that's definitely something to think about. Okay, the next step is we're going to take a look at the winter catalog quickly. I'll go ahead and pull that up. All right, so CCSA creates an enormous amount of marketing materials that we hope are helpful, not only for students, but for campus representatives and parents and anybody else who really needs to find out more information about what we do and what we offer. And so this is an example of our winter program catalog, and it focuses on London and Dublin. Those are the programs that I mentioned previously. You can see inside the catalog, it describes again who we are, who can participate, a lot of the deadlines, and all of our contact information as well. There's more information about the courses that we offer. You can see there's the ABCs of International Business, Global Management, and many others. I would definitely recommend going to the website and looking at the course search page, because it also has the option of specifically choosing a major, and then also a program location, and lots of different tools that are useful in trying to figure out what course is right for you. Inside the catalog, we list some of the pricing, and we give a program overview which explains some of the places that you'll be visiting, what's included in the price of that base price, and then whether or not airfare is included in that price or not. It's not offered this winter, but sometimes, like in the summer, our Belize program may require group travel just because of the way that that location is. We'll get to the summer programs later. Again, there's a lot of business offerings in this section, and so if you're a business student, there's a lot to look at there. Our sports and media programs, we have several. Some focus on government and political science, others in communication and broadcasting. Barry Gresham's been doing really well, it seems, across multiple campuses, so hopefully he'll be doing his program. Again, we've got some theater courses, definitely an interesting experience. Going to London and experiencing theater is definitely, I'd say, should be at the top of any theater literature's theater majors list, especially with Shakespeare. This is a great course taught by Professor Darren Michael, The Bard Lives, Experiencing Shakespeare and the British Theatrical Traditions. A little mention about the Storyteller Scholarship again. I highly recommend anybody wanting to participate to at least try to apply for that. All right, and so I'm not going to go through each of the courses that are listed, but you can see that there's a lot of information in our catalog, and I'll also have a link for you to be able to download that at the end of this presentation, not to mention the fact that all of this information is also located on our website as well. As I'd mentioned earlier, London and Dublin, two capitals, has a chance of spending a week in London and then a week in Dublin, so that's very popular. And the catalog also has a lot of information about financial aid procedures, withdrawal procedures, withdrawal policies, tuition, and refunds, every other thing. It discusses our accommodations and where you'll probably be staying. So the catalog has a lot of information. It's very useful, and so I recommend viewing that when you have a chance. So now that we've gone through the winter catalog, I'll take a moment to look at summer just quickly. Even though our focus right now is on winter, we still do have enrollments coming in for summer, and so I think it's a good idea to at least briefly discuss our summer programs. The pricing for summer hasn't come out yet because there's still a couple of things that are being formalized, and those will be out soon, and probably at the end of this week we'll have pricing for summer. But at the current time we're offering Belize, Ireland, London, and Scotland. And I can tell you that the Scotland program has had a lot of interest, and so we definitely expect for that to be successful in the summer of 2017. Another program in the summer that's historically been very successful is the Belize Anthropology Field School. This is taught by Doug Hume out of Northern Kentucky University. They travel to Belize and spend almost a whole month there. Belize Land and Sea will have a couple of classes this year, and they'll be traveling for 2 weeks in May. We'll have our program to Ireland. It's going to be called One Island, Two Countries. That's going to discuss, the whole concept of Ireland and Northern Ireland, and there'll be several courses offered in that as well. Probably be good if I zoom in a little bit just so you can see what the courses are. And again, this full document will be available for download at the end when we get into the discussion mode. The London Midsummer program is our 2-week option for London. It seems like London is our most popular program historically, and there's good reason for that. We have very good accommodations with King's College. The classrooms are held at the Waterloo campus with King's College, and the dormitory-style housing, which is almost like an apartment or a studio, is held at Moonraker Point. And so we'll be offering several courses there, you can see. The flagship program, I would say, is really the full London Summer 4-week program. And this program, if you're going to spend enough money to travel all the way to London and buy an airline ticket to go that far, it's really a smart decision financially to spend that extra money to stay 2 more weeks. You've already gotten over there, you're in the location, and so it doesn't cost a whole lot more to just stay the extra 2 weeks. And another benefit of this is because we've grouped courses into Group A and Group B courses, students will actually have the luxury of taking 2 courses in the summer semester. So you could actually travel to London, get 6 semester hours of coursework, and all of that in 4 weeks. Another thing to mention about the London summer is we have many optional activities like Stonehenge. I believe we're going to have an Edinburgh, and then we also have our Paris trip, which is a weekend trip to Paris in the middle, which is optional as well. And so you could go to London, get credit for 2 classes, take a trip to Paris, see Stonehenge. There's quite a lot in a 4-week span that can be done. Another interesting thing for this coming summer is the Scotland City and Highlands Midsummer Program. CCSA has done Scotland in the past, but it's been a while, and so we're bringing this back. And I would say we're bringing it back in a very big way because the number of classes that you can see that are going to be offered are significant. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 7 courses. This one right here you can't see very well. So that's a significant program, and hopefully it'll do well. We've got the London shot of Big Ben there from underneath the bridge. And that's basically a look at what we call our summer lookbook. Okay. All right, so I'd like to open up this point to comments and questions. And so in the discussion board, if anybody has any questions they would like to ask, we can answer those. And I just put here. I don't see too many participants. I don't imagine there'll be too many questions. But again, I would definitely recommend that you visit the website, ccsa.cc. There's a lot of information out there on the website. Just about anything you can think of can be answered on the website, but anything that doesn't happen to be on the website, all of our contact information is there as well. And I'll even give you my email address. It's finance@ccsa.cc. Please send me a message if there's anything that you maybe didn't ask or forgot to ask or didn't see presented.